Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. Today we're going to take a very detailed look at Merit Beauty's makeup line. 2 weeks ago, I showed you guys Merit Beauty's makeup collection that they sent to me for me to review. And since then, I've been using the makeup as often as I can to really get a feel for the products. Merit Beauty contacted me and asked me if I was interested in trying their makeup, and having heard so many good things about their products, and plus they are a clean brand, I was just so excited. So thank you again, Merit Beauty, for sending me these products. Now that I've gotten a really good chance to try these products, I'm also excited to share my experience with you and to demo all of these products. So while I do have a primer on and eyeshadow, so the primer I'm using has been the same for the past several months. It's the Victoria Beckham's Cell Rejuvenating Priming Moisturizer, and this is the regular. It does not have the golden tinted shade to it. I'm really trying to finish this before I move on to golden. And then for eyeshadow, I am wearing Tom Ford's Meteoric Quad. Keeping things pretty simple here, I use the shade kind of all over the lids, and I topped it by mixing these two glittery, shimmery shades, and then I added a little bit of this on the upper lash line. So we've got this simple look with some dimensions to it, but a lot of glittery pops, if you will. So the first product I'm going to demo is their Complexion stick. This is their Minimalist, or also Perfecting Complexion stick. The shade that I have here is Bisque. You turn the bottom to get more product to come up, and the cap is not a magnetic closure. You do have to, or as you push it in, you hear the click. So how I apply this is just a few swipes on the cheeks, and you don't have to start with as much as I'm using. If you want a sheer application, because this does have quite a bit of coverage, and it can also double as a concealer. So I'm just going to use this as a concealer today so you guys can get a feel for how well the product stays on. And then going in with their beauty brush. This is made up of synthetic fibers. It is made in China, and I absolutely love this brush. It's slightly slanted, and it's great for blending these products into your skin. So I'm going to stop there. I've blended the right side of my face, and I want to show you how seamless it all looks. And I definitely have coverage compared to the side, which I haven't blended in yet. And this brush is extremely easy to use. Now I'm ready to touch up on any blemishes that need extra product. So I have some acne here. I'm just gonna dab it. Some redness under the nose. That could use some correcting. And then right here, because I do wear glasses, you could see the kind of imprint at times, just depending on how long I've been wearing my glasses. And then some darkness here that we could cover. So for these more detailed, smaller areas, I am going to take my Koyudo finger brush here to blend in the product. And for spot concealing blemishes, I find that you don't even need to blend it in. You just tap it. And if you feel like it's too noticeable, you can do some light blending around, and that's kind of it. And then you have that added coverage. And before we move on to the next product here, I do actually want to read the brief product description from the website. The Minimalist is described as, it's not a foundation or a concealer, but it'll replace both in your makeup bag. And I would agree with that. In fact, because I prefer a concealer that lightens, so a couple of shades lighter than my actual skin tone. I am thinking about getting something in 2 or 3 shades lighter just for under the eyes, but you can see that it works very well as a concealer, and you don't have to use it all over the face if you don't want to, but you can certainly use it as a foundation. It wears very well throughout the day. In fact, I get overall better wear out of this formulation than Westman Atelier's Vital Skin Stick Foundation. This foundation is really beautiful. It has less coverage, but you do get a little bit more radiance from it, from this formulation. And while it does wear throughout the day, I find that it just comes apart more than the Complexion stick. I still use this with some level of frequency, so it's not like I've abandoned Westman Atelier by any means. I just kind of go between the two. However, that's the main difference I've noticed. And I think of Westman Atelier when I think of Merit Beauty because, one, both are clean brands and their commitment to clean formulations is really notable. And second is there is some similarity to the packaging itself. Obviously, you know, it's not the size, but the fact that both are in these kind of sleek tube-like designs with the name printed, or I guess this is embossed and this is printed on. So my mind is kind of drawn to Merit when I think of Westman Atelier, and when I think of Westman Atelier, I think of Merit Beauty. So you'll see me draw comparisons between the two throughout this video for that reason. And as for the beauty brush here, this is brush number 1. It is a blending brush, the number 1 tool in your kit. Use it to blend your complexion products and you won't be able to tell where your skin and your makeup meet. So I don't think I've applied any of the Complexion products past here, but it does look pretty seamless. And now that I've gotten a good amount of sun in the past 2 weeks, I feel like Bisque is the right color for me. Although if I get any deeper, I'd probably need to rely on a good amount of bronzing powder to just deepen it enough to make it work throughout the summer. So I don't think I'll need to go any deeper than Bisque. I'll probably need the help of a bronzer to get me the rest of the way as we step into July and August. Moving on to brows, this is their Brows 1980 Volumizing Pomade. A nod to the brows of the 80s, this pomade adds color and volume for healthy, fluffy arches. I think I'm getting a good amount of color from the formula. And the bristles on the spoolie is not too stiff. I have that issue with Chantecaille's tinted brow gel. And I feel like I can use it to shape my brows well enough. So this is with the brow pomade and this is without. So this is with the pomade added. I'm gonna work to fill in some more gaps. I'm going to set the makeup, then I'm going to come back for blush, highlight, and lips. For cheeks, I have their cheek color in the shade Beverly Hills. This is described as a flush balm, a cream tint that melts into skin for lit from within color that stays flush all day. And having used this several times, yes, it does stay put on your cheeks. I do put this on top of my finishing powder, but you can also put it underneath if you wanted to. The effect of putting a blush balm or cream blush under your setting powder is so that you can get even more of a flush from within. What I like to do when I used to do that a lot is apply the cream blush, put the setting powder, and then go back to like a powder blush to apply more. So you really get that flush because there's like, it's happening at 2 different levels. So I'm just going to use my fingers to apply this cream blush, and for today's demo we're just going to apply it on top of everything. Extremely easy to work with. And there you go, that is it. I didn't really do much. Very easy to blend. And that is the Flush Balm, their cheek color in the shade Beverly Hills. You can also put this on your eyes and on your lips as well. I will demonstrate putting this on my lower lips today. Before I do that, I do want to show you first the lip oil and the color pigment you get from this. This is a very tinted lip oil or lip gloss, and you can pretty much wear it as lipstick, like a glossy lipstick. So you don't really need to put a cheek color underneath. You do get more pigmentation when you combine the two. So let me just go ahead and put this on my lower lip. This lip oil is unscented and it wears very comfortably. It's very hydrating, but you can see what I mean with the pigment. It's very, very pigmented. And so now we're gonna go in and I'm just gonna apply some of this on the upper lips, and then we'll apply the lip oil. So it's not that noticeable that I have like another color above, but my upper lip is more pigmented overall. So I think my natural pigment would have come through a bit more with just the lip oil. So with one application or two applications of this cheek color, I just gave myself like more of a base coverage, if you will. But I like both, wearing it with this underneath or just the lip oil alone. I like both. And the shade that I have here is Pink Beat. The lip oil is called Shade Slick. A tinted lip oil, a slick of sheer color infused with rosehip oil and shea butter for healthy lips all day. It does wear very comfortably, as it kind of dissipates or gets transferred onto, your mug and whatnot. You just kind of go back and reapply like you would a lip balm. And it isn't so slick that it feels like it's all over the place. Like at this point, not much of the color is gonna move off of my lips or the lines of my lips, which is really important because that would be quite annoying if that happened and messy. So I could be talking, and as long as I'm not applying too much, it's not going to bunch up at the corners and it's definitely going to stay put. And for the second to last product, I have their highlighting balm. This is in the shade Kava, and it is pretty slick as well. But not quite as slick as Westman Atelier's. Westman Atelier's Light Up Highlight Stick. So this is Westman Atelier and this is Merit. Merit, Westman Atelier. They look nearly identical in terms of undertone. This one is more peachy and warmer, but they're very similar. I think the difference primarily is going to be in the finish or the texture of the product. Westman Atelier is pretty slick, and so you feel like, it almost can be like an all over face glow that you could wear on top of your primer and then you add foundation. So this is a really interesting product. It doesn't slide around all over your face throughout the day because of how slick it is, but it definitely, there's been times where if I'm not careful about how much I put on, I definitely feel like I'm on the verge of looking really shiny and oily like 2-3 hours in because I have combination skin. So that's something to be aware of. And this, you're less likely to maybe over apply because it's less slick, and oftentimes I just do this and you can see that, and all I do is that and I blend it in. And because it's less emollient, you tend to not by accident or unintentionally spread the product too much. So I guess it just comes down to the way you use it and your preference of these two. Because this is more emollient and slicker, I also feel like the highlight you get from it is more amped up, whereas this is a little bit more subtle in comparison. So there you go. We can add another application, and again, it remains pretty subtle, but you do see it as you move around. It does catch the light and you do see it. So this Day Glow Highlighting Balm is described as made for daytime. This highlighter gives a dewy, balmy sheen with zero sparkle. And the Westman Atelier does have sparkle, so that's how you get the more amped up effect. For our last Merit product, I have their Clean Lash Lengthening Mascara. Your go-to mascara for every day. It tints, lengthens, and lifts lashes with no smudging ever. So let's get some mascara on, and then we can talk about how it wears in my experience. And I actually really like this applicator too. Really straightforward to use, but the product, there's enough product on it, and I usually don't need to go back, at least for like the one eye. I can just use what's on the wand or the applicator. I think the product layers on itself really nicely. And while it is said to be a lengthening mascara, because of the layering, I get volume from it as well. And you just kind of build the layers from the base of your lashes, comb upwards, and voila, you get volume and length. So this is the right eye with the mascara, and left I don't have any. I'm quite happy with the performance of this mascara. The lengthening effect, the ease of building the product to give you volume. As for the no smudging part, this is indeed of many, like over a dozen mascaras that I've tried, this one has the least amount of transfer onto the lower part of my eye. So as I, blink throughout the day, some of it is going to transfer, like from any mascara, it's going to transfer just right here. And if the transfer is a lot, you start looking like, or I start looking like a panda. But this one is minimal, and I'm talking about like 5-6 hours of wear, I start to see a little bit, but nothing really concerning. Also really easy to clean up with a Q-tip if I have to, or just with the finger. I just do this sometimes and it's gone. And that's it, just once a day. Whereas any other mascaras that I've tried, unless it is absolutely waterproof, it will smudge, and I will over time start looking more and more like a panda. So yes to the no smudging, because you're not going to get the product all over your lids. Like even if you say got teary-eyed, for example, or you went like this, you're not going to smudge it. Does it have some transfer? Yes, it does, but it is the best in its category, I think, when it comes to transfer and smudging. So for the last step, I'm just going to apply some bronzer, and then we can talk about where each of these products are made. And oh, I did not compare the blush, the cheek shade, to the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks blush, so we can talk about that as well. So this is the finished look, and I'm liking the mascara, I'm liking how the cheeks look, and of course the Complexion product. Like I have fairly even looking skin tone. My blemishes are mostly covered. I've got nice glow from the highlighting balm. So if you can't tell already, I actually really love Merit Beauty and their products. There is not a single product from the collection that I don't enjoy. Some of the products I may have favorites from other brands that I might prefer, but if I could only take this set of makeup with me on my next trip, wherever, for vacation or work, I'd feel really good about it, because none of this is irritating to my skin. It's also clean formulation. Yeah, in fact, I'm thinking about, once again, getting a lighter shade in the Complexion stick. I'm of course very interested in getting more cheek and lip oil shades. And then I did do 2 swatches of the highlighter. This one here is Merit, and the one down here is Westman Atelier. So you can see the slicker formulation from Westman Atelier is more blingy. It also has like reflective, sparkly bits as well. Also, it does not settle down. So this remains emollient the entire time, but this actually, it won't fully dry down, but it's less likely to move around. And you can see the transfer, and this is Westman Atelier, this is Merit. So I think the finish and texture is the biggest difference between the two. Now, looking at the Westman Atelier Baby Cheeks blush stick, I have this in Minette, and Minette is beautiful. Is this Minette? And this is Beverly Hills from Merit. Obviously 2 different shades here, but I do want to show you the texture. And this is from Merit Beauty. Obviously the undertones between the two are totally different. Minette specifically, and I think this is the only cheek shade from Westman Atelier that actually has sparkle bits in it. So the texture or the finish between the two is actually different. Minette here has sparkly reflective bits, and then the balm from Merit does not. And I would say both are equally beautiful, and both is capable of, you know, as you apply it, give you that glow within. I do think the balm might do that a little bit more naturally. I do think these cheek sticks or blush sticks from Westman Atelier has more of a standout quality to it, a wow factor. So everything from Merit is really, you know, contributes to give you a really natural look, whereas with Westman Atelier, certain products from them give you more of a pow. Now, if we were to compare these 2 clean beauty brands to, you know, normal regular brands, they both, compared to those other brands, give you a really natural makeup look. I'm just being very, very detailed here between, you know, 2 specific clean brands. So just so you guys are aware, they both give you a very natural finish. I didn't want to make it or say it so that I'm saying one doesn't give you a natural finish, if you know what I mean. I just wanted to clarify that. These 3 products are all made in the States. So this is the Day Glow, the highlighter, tinted lip oil, as well as the brow pomade. They all have a shelf life of 12 months. The Complexion stick, the mascara, and cheek shade are made in South Korea. The cheek shade has a shelf life of 24 months, the Complexion stick 12 months, and the mascara 6 months. Because of the brand's minimalist motto and how this whole collection, the full set itself, is called 5-minute morning, less is definitely more for them. So less is more with the brand, and I really have been enjoying everything. And when I'm trying to get ready in the morning really quickly, I have found that I can successfully put together a full look really quickly without fuss. And the fact that if I don't even care too much about a lighter concealer, I can just use this one product for everything. So I think the concealer sits, or I should say the complexion stick formulation sits nicely as a concealer under the eyes. I do have issues where sometimes like it separates quicker up here than anywhere else. I found that this wears pretty decently, and today in particular too, I feel like it's really nicely blended in. I'm sure it has something to do with just getting enough sleep the night before. I am filming this on the weekend, so I've gotten some rest. Well, thank you guys for watching. If you have been curious about Merit Beauty, hopefully I've given you lots of information here for you guys to consider. I know some of you are fans of this brand already. Love to hear your thoughts on your favorite shades for cheeks, lips, and really anything else that you guys have some thoughts on. Definitely looking to get more cheek and lip color possibly coming up soon. If you're interested in any of these products, check the link below, or if you just want to go over to the website to have a look. If you do plan on buying anything, definitely check out the sets because you will get some value savings out of it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.